Well, folks, welcome to another Shop Talk, and we are out here in the boondocks with Tim Billings. And Tim, I was starting to get a little bit worried when the street lights stopped and I hit Pawpaw.
Right.
I was worried.
Yeah, we can't get pizza out here. We live so far out.
It is kind of in, like you were saying, kind of in a triangle here. You're between Liberty, Kearney, and Smithville, so it's
7 miles in any direction.
Yep. I can understand the pizza thing.
Right.
Tim, you know, it's no wonder that you got into racing. Your grandpa was a flagman. Mm-hmm. You've had cousins and uncles that have raced related to the Littorals, which, of course, I wouldn't want to say has been a household name, but they've been around racing for years and years here in Kansas City. But it's no wonder you ended up being a race car driver.
Yeah, pretty much somebody in our family's racing at some point in time. So, you know, I had a grandpa, all my uncles. You know, now I got cousins, so it's a neat deal. It's kind of fun to try to carry it on.
Yeah, it really is a family sport. Of course, there again with my cousin Charlie, crafts have been in and out. Cousins have helped racers own cars, whatever, and it really does become a family thing after a while. It seems like.
Yeah, I kind of like it because you know it gets everybody together. Because with the way this world is, fast paced. Everybody comes to the races on Friday. It's good to see everybody get together.
Yeah, well, it's almost like a small family reunion each time.
Right.
Yeah. Toward the end of 2000, you can't take it any longer. From what I understand, there's a little story too about you owning a pickup and whatever, and talking to your wife into maybe selling that and buying something else. But you do get your first factory stock, which was an asphalt car.
Right. Yeah. My wife and my daughter bought me a 1970 pickup for Father's Day, and I looked at it and I kind of had the idea that I could probably talk her into getting a race car. So I asked her about it. I said we'd have just as much money in fixing this old pickup as I would a race car. And of course she was green, so she didn't know anything about racing. Now if I was trying to do that right now, it wouldn't go.
It wouldn't fly.
No. So I got the okay and talked to my dad about it, and we went, watched the races, and picked out a decent car.
Yeah. And in 2002, after you have picked up this car and worked with it for a while, just your second year, things do kind of start coming together. And I mean, when you say they start coming together, you end up winning the points at, now wasn't that 2002?
Yeah, it was 2002.
You end up winning the points in the factory stock class at Lakeside.
Yeah, me and Danny Charles were racing pretty hard one night, and we come out of two, and we both kind of got a little antsy, and I kind of, you know, we got together, and I spun out, and Wade Sherman hit his head on, and that was kind of a blessing in disguise, because once we fixed the car and got it back together, we didn't realize kind of the little demons that we were fighting, but once we put the new front end on it, man, I tell you what, she's a rocket ship.
It was different.
It was
different
all,
car. Yeah, another car.
We were fast.
Yeah, it's funny how something like that can seem so bad, but yet turn out so good, I guess you could say.
It was a bad deal, but, you know, hey.
Yeah. In 2003, you decided to make the switch to another class, and I think you used this word already, but in your description of that car, you said it was a demon every week. What was this beast, and what did eventually happen to it?
Well, it was an old Shaw car, and I saw it in a newspaper for $1,000. I was like, you know, how can a guy go wrong buying a race car for $1,000 a roller? So I went over there and looked at it, and the rear end in it was worth $1,000. So I was like, you know what, we can make a Grand National out of this. So I sent it up to Jeremiah Asher, and he fixed it. We converted it over, and you know it was horrible. We didn't know nothing. I mean, every time we thought we did something right, it made it worse. But you know, we got a victory in that car, and I never hated something so much. It was horrible.
And what happened to it? It's a good story about how it ended up.
At the end of the year, I done made up my mind. I talked to Brandy about it, and I said, look, we need a new car. I said, Jeremiah, I want to get an Asher chassis. And I put on the internet, free car. First come, can have it. some old guy called me up, and he goes, "You sure you want to give that car away?" I said, "Tell you what, I even bring it to you." And he says, "No, I got a rollback." So he showed up with his rollback, and I had it on jack stands, and he slid that rollback right under it,
Yeah.
took off, and I just waved to him. I said, "You can have that car, buddy." Somebody told me, "Well, you can get a couple hundred at the crusher for it." I didn't even want to take that much time. I wanted that thing gone.
Well, and, of course, the other part of that could be too, if you sold it to somebody and then they found out how bad it was, they might be calling you.
Right.
So-
I didn't want no hard feelings. That's why I couldn't even, get a six-pack out of it.
That's a funny story. Free race car, pick it up.
Come and get it. Yeah,
So you do end up in 2004, you do get a new Asher chassis,
Mm-hmm.
and this is about the same time as that the Smiths and Kerry Davis have running their Asher, and of course, we know how that went, so
pretty good.
pretty
They
good.
were fast.
And they're fast cars.
They were fun to watch. Didn't go very well racing against them.
2005, though, is pretty much something that helped turn your racing career around, and two guys' names that you mentioned to me that were involved in that would be Troy Cannon and David Harrison. Well, what can you tell me about them?
Well, Troy, I raced with him in a factory stock, and we got to know each other, and he called me up one day and he says, "Are you tired or struggling with that car?"
Mhm.
I was like, "Well, yeah." He goes, "Can I come over and help you?" So he come over, and we sat down and went over a few things, and then he introduced me to David Harrison, and it's all history from there. 'Cause without them guys, I wouldn't have known the inner workings of the front suspension and all that. I mean, I had a race car. That's all I knew. I didn't
Enlightenment.
know anything else. Right.
And it's amazing how many guys that I talk to that's what they need is that knowledge or experience that somebody else has got to kind of get them over the hump and get them started. And
Right. There's people out there that'll help you, but there's some people out there that'll help you until they feel threatened, and then they stop.
Right.
And I try to help people out, and I'll have people ask me, "Well, why are you helping him? He's got a chance to beat you." And I try not to look at it that way, because I try to remember where I started from.
Yeah.
If these two guys wouldn't have, devoted their time and
Yeah.
wanted to see me do well, I probably wouldn't have did so well. But
One of the things that we talk about in RC racing, as far as what you're talking about, is sometimes if you help a guy out and help him figure a car, get it how it's set up, he's not going to hit you as much if he's got more control of it.
Right. That's what they were thinking about me. They got tired of me hitting everybody. I had my ups and downs. I can't say I did.
Yeah. But you do go on in that car, and in 2007, now you win a points championship in that. And like I've heard so many guys talk about in points championship years, everything went right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we didn't even have a flat tire that year.
Yeah.
We had a few wrecks, but I think we only didn't finish one race. But we had a lot of things go our way.
Yeah.
We just kept digging. We got put behind the 8 ball a few times, but
Mhm.
we didn't give up.
Yeah. I was going to say, a lot of times it's maintenance time in the shop, getting it back on the track. This is going by way too fast. I want to jump on ahead now to 2008, 2009. And you go into the modified class, and Tim, I know you're in a position right now where I know you've got to be feeling a lot of frustration, because I know you want to run modified. Personally, I know you've got the capabilities to do it, but it's just tough. And could you tell me some of the reasons why it's so tough and why you may be getting out of the modified class for next year?
Well, it's all about money. I mean, there's just no other way to put it. I mean, if you don't have the financial backing, which I could throw everything in it that I've got, and I try to stop and think about it. What actually am I looking for in a modified?
Mhm.
So it's just about finance. I don't want to sit here and play a money game with it.
Mhm.
We put together. We bought a good car, and we've had a couple motor problems last year. This year, Yancey put us a decent motor together. So, we made the best of it.
Yeah. I think we may be running out of time. And if you got some sponsors you want to talk about that would help you out.
Yeah, I've got a Major Thrift,
Uh-huh.
Walkertown Uniform, Burns Boys, Twilight Graphics, There, there's and